Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. You know, sitting there thinking about General Hospital, and you know how Drew, if you watch General Hospital, you know how Drew, there's a lot of times where he doesn't know how to read the room. Meet Ava Vitale, right? Sophia comes in, she wants to work. And, it's pretty dead, and Ava's like, pretty much work doing what? Now, she talks about her appointment that she moved up yesterday or the day before. And Amy comes in, Amy's like, how come you didn't tell me about this? Now, we know that Sophia did it because Amy could be a lot, right? Amy was sitting there waiting for 20 minutes until she found out, she wasn't even there. And on some level, I can understand her being kind of annoyed about that. Now, at first, she's pretty harsh on her. And then after, um, I guess Sophia kind of was like, I get it. I know you love me and everything like that. I know you're just trying to do what's best for me and look out for me and everything like that. She softens up a little bit. And this is where Sophia's like, we're talking about adoption at this point. Amy is pretty much like held to the no. You're 17 years old, and you're not ready to sit there and make those decisions. I'm still your legal guardian. I still have to sit there and make those type of decisions for you because the truth of the matter is, I get what Sophia Smith is saying. I get where she's coming from. But there was also a point where both of them was like, they felt kind of wary, their baby just kind of just being out there, out into the world, and them just wondering what's going on, what happens to our baby. Did they get a good home and stuff like that? They even actually had a bit of concerns. So part of me, when Amy pretty much like held to no, we're not going to do that. There's other options. We can sit there and help out. His parents can help out. Like, we can make this work. She's very adamant about not doing it. Now, although Amy is very harsh and, Sophia is worried and everything like that, you can see that she's upset. I can't help but look at that and be like, she's entirely right. There's a point where she's like, oh, what about college? This is going to mess with my life and this, that, and the third. And Amy's like, we should have thought about that before you start knocking boats. And she's not wrong about that. Like, at this point, this is about the baby. This isn't about you. Yes, I want you to sit there and try to do all those things, but you have a responsibility now. We can't just sit there and act like this baby is just going to be this inconvenience that you could just pass off to somebody else and just continue to, like, no, we're not doing that. I get that Ava means well, right? I get that part. But Ava has a problem, right? Ava it's like you keep butting in the situation that you shouldn't be butting in. And after Sophia walks off, she's like, I get that you love her, and she's a good girl, and this, that, and the third. It's like you're not getting it. Like, you should just stop talking at this point because you're not helping the situation. I get that she's trying to, but you're not her parent. Like Amy said, and this is when Amy's like, listen, I have different convictions and like my beliefs and everything like that. You have to understand that. And although Ava says I respect that, she's kind of just like, but you're not. This is what's gonna happen. You're not her mother. You don't get a say so. Keep your damn mouth shut. This is the same way where Ava was at Kristen's. No, actually, it was at Brady's, and Kristen is upset. You can clearly see that. And although, yeah, she's being very irrational, you're not helping the situation. And she finally got it after about a couple of minutes, she wound up leaving, but it's like, you don't know how to read a room. You know? I'm not siding with Kristen on this one, but like, damn, if your child was missing or something happened to Trip or whatever, because I mean, we all know how she treated Charlie, and somebody was not there making you angry and stuff like that, no matter if they were in the right or wrong, you would want them to go away as well. So I don't understand this lack of common sense. And going back to Kristen, yeah, she gets upset simply because Brady's not there talking to Ava. And then she realizes, you know what, listen, I am out of pocket, I'm just scared, I'm nervous and everything like that. And part of me, it's the problem with this Rachel running away thing. I'm not feeling it, and I know it sounds out of pocket to sit there and say I don't care because, you know, even though it's a fictional show, it is about a child that's ran away. But part of me just looks at this whole thing like this child was rich. She had everything that anyone could sit there and ask for. And yet she still chose to run away. And we see her at the end, some dusty old place. And I'm kind of just like, you're making your parents worry sick to death because, and I get it because she's a child, but it's like you didn't get what you wanted, so you decided to run away. Like this is so stupid. And I get how stupid it sounds because it is a child, but it just make me not really care that much about this story, you know. Um, and maybe on some level they did this runaway stories is where they can try to break up Ava and Brady because you know the fans don't like it and whatever, and it's I'm not feeling it that much. Now Tate is upset and worried and feeling like he's not doing enough. And Marlena does sit there and try to help and comfort him. They talk about the pregnancy, and you know Tate is worried that this pregnancy and everything that's going on with Sophia is affecting his relationship with Holly. This is again where I'm like, bro, Holly should not even be a factor in this sense. Like, you having a child, man. Like, this is about the child and the child's mother. You know, I don't give a damn how you feel about Holly and your relationship. This baby, that's the most important part about this whole equation. You know, not you worrying about how your relationship with Holly is. So I'm kind of just like, I don't really care. And at some point, Holly does come over. He does his best to sit there and try to smooth things over, and Holly is real with him. Like, yeah, this is an issue. This is making me upset and uncomfortable because you're having a child with somebody else. Like, how am I supposed to sit there? Like, this is something that's between y'all two. Like, how am I going to sit there and act like this doesn't affect me in some sort of way? But then they pivot from that conversation and talk about Rachel and make some hashtags or whatever to try to help the search go along faster. Meanwhile, Sean and Belle are talking about Rachel's disappearance. He gets a call. There's a little girl that was brung in, hit and run. They get down there, and it turns out it's not Rachel. And Belle's like, "Oh, thank God!" I'm like, I mean, yes, good. It's not Rachel, but like, there's still a child in there that did get hurt, and they think about it afterwards, like, oh, well, I mean, that's a child. It's a little banged up, but, you know, it's fine. She's gonna make a full recovery. Oh, okay, well, that's cool. I don't know. Part of me just felt like that scene was a little kind of like off. Like, oh, thank God it's not Rachel. I mean, it's somebody else's child, but thank God it's not Rachel. I don't know. Maybe that's just me in my head, just how I'm sitting there thinking about it. But uh, Marlena goes to Steve, and it's like we need to get it because first of all, she has to then tell him about Rachel disappearing, well, running away at this point, and then it's like she wants to try to contact John. Steve is like, I can't do that because Shane is like, if we try to contact John, it's gonna be he's so much in this crazy situation. Any contact is just gonna make it worse. So we can't do that. Like it's just a really bad um position that he's in. So we can't do that. And that's pretty much about it. That's pretty much about it. Now, unfortunately, we all know, what's going on behind the scenes. So, at some point, they're gonna sit there and get to that, which is gonna be pretty heavy. I'll say the least. Um, and like I said, Crystal's crying. She's upset, and part of me, it's not like I don't feel for her. I do. Regardless of what, how much she messed up as a mother. Because let's be very clear, she did mess up as a mother. And Brady does go to Ava, and he's also guilty that he caused this train wreck as well. Until Rachel was spiraling out of control to a point where she just ran away. Um, but I have very conflicting feelings about Kristen because on one hand, yes, I do get it. You can F up, but that's still your little girl, and I understand that she's upset about it. The other part of me is like, cause this. Cause this. Not because, yeah, you gave your daughter false hope about y'all two getting back together, you and her dad, but also just you being a bad example for her that led to this type of behavior where she felt like this was okay to do. So it's like I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I feel like that's pretty much about it. I missed anything, write in the comment section below. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I'll be talking about all the shows. As you know, all four of the soap operas. And I'll see you in the next video or live stream.